Hey guys, this is Ricky from Corpus Christi, and today I kind of wanted to talk on the topic of how to handle an offense. Webster's dictionary defines it as something that outrages the moral or physical offense, the state of being insulted or morally outraged. Um, we all deal with offenses differently. Usually it's a reaction first before assessing it. And with tensions so high already with COVID-19, this is like a good topic to really kind of just unpack and just really reflect on. How do we handle an offense? There are plenty of examples. It could be a coworker, it could be someone cutting you off in traffic, it could be someone as easily coughing in front of you, or maybe not even social distancing. But just like a fuse, it doesn't take much to cause an explosion of words, actions that you can't take back once you do it. But how you handle it is going to change the outcome of it. So I'm just going to kind of read a couple of different scriptures today, two verses that just kind of talk about this. First one's going to be 2 Corinthians 6:3, and I'm just going to go ahead and read it from the NIV. It says, "We put no stumbling blocks in anyone's path, so that our ministry will not be discredited." And this is talking about Paul writing to the Corinthian church. And he's basically saying, look, we all have stumbling blocks, but when you're offended at somebody, or you're trying to handle an offense because someone has offended you, and like I said, it's a moral outrage. Someone's belief system can also offend other people. Obviously being a Christian nowadays can seem hypocritical because people want to find a reason to argue. Politicians is another good topic. How you handle your money. Again, the list goes on. And then the second verse I want to also read in this blog today is 1 Peter 2:8. That says, "A stone of stumbling and a rock of offense. They stumbled being disobedient to the word, to which they were appointed." And this goes to believers, but obviously handling an offense, it is a stumbling block. You trip over a rock or a stone, you might twist an ankle, you might break a leg. But in this case, how you handle an offense could break a relationship up. It could, create wedges between you and the people that you interact with. So handling an offense is just as important of how to assess it. So, as I kind of mentioned, it doesn't take much to be offended. You can be offended over holidays, people, lifestyles, manners, how people treat you. But I want you to think about this acronym. I just kind of came up with it, thought about it, and just made it very simple. The word pause. That means stopping in the moment, if possible. And I broke it down for every letter in the word pause. The first letter, pray, is P. Okay? When you pray, you're able to slow down, calm down, and maybe even get the blood pressure down. And it allows you to kind of reassess your situation, if possible. The letter A, assess. It's another way of saying you're reflecting. And the same goes to someone that doesn't necessarily, follow a life of a Christian. Even if you just stop and reflect, this is applicable to anybody. Assessing a situation is just like when you're going to work. You have to assess things in your life every day. The third letter is the letter U, and I put the word unite. Unite is how we stay connected. We're all people. We all have issues. But if you can find common grounds, it just will allow for you to work past the issues or the problem. The fourth letter, I put the letter S, and I put seek. Seek truth or seek common ground. Because, people are seeking truth in every sort of situation. But when you're offended, sometimes you're not going to see the situation for what it is. You're not going to see truth unless you're willing to seek it out. Seek out the reason why you're offended. Maybe it's a personal issue, not an external issue. And the fifth letter I put E, evaluate. Again, assess, unite, pray. But when you evaluate, you're going to reflect upon it. You're going to think about it. Or maybe at least just take more time to ponder, okay? Because most relationships, guys, it's just from miscommunications. That's usually why an offense happens. It's miscommunicating. You're addressing somebody, they're not listening, they're distracted, you get offended. You know, someone cutting you off in traffic, I said earlier, someone not covering their mouth. I mean, the list can really go on. But the end result is, if you hold on to that offense, it's going to become like a poison, and then it leads to bitterness and resentment. And when you have resentment, you're not going to want to connect with people. When you have issues, you're going to isolate from people because you're sick of people. But if you pause and think about these letters that I've talked about as an acronym, maybe how you deal with an offense can make you less defensive, and instead just move forward and allow for this offense to just disappear, or at least become less. Because nobody wants to be offended, but we all get offended. Nobody wants to deal with trouble, but sometimes trouble just finds its way to you. But how you handle it is going to impact your character, and that's what people are going to see more than anything. How you handle a situation really reflects on the character. So just pause today. Hopefully you can pause this video and think about these thoughts, and just see that we're all imperfect, we all have issues, but how we handle our offenses with one another is really how we show love for one another. And the world needs people that can handle offenses easier, including myself. And if I've offended you by talking about offense, then you may need to replay this again. But again, pause, reflect, redirect, and just move forward. If possible, an offense is not worth your time to waste more time. And I hope that today has been a blessing, and I pray that you watch more of these videos, and that this is not offending, but just re-correcting or maybe helping challenge the way you think about an offense. God bless, and see you next time.